What's up, people? So I'm shooting this episode with my glasses on because I decided to stop being an asshole and Google and YouTube and find out how to turn down the fucking glare on my computer so I can shoot the video from my laptop without having to take my glasses off because I've been basically walking around blind without a fucking cane every time I shot an episode because I didn't know how to do it. So I figured out how to do it. I look better with my glasses on. If you say I don't, fuck you. So with that being said, I'm just gonna jump right off into what grinds my gears in this fucking world, and I'm gonna start saying some things to you ignorant fucks that you're not gonna like. You probably didn't like it before, but who cares? Um, I'm sick and tired of every time something happens people got to have either a hashtag or a catchy phrase or something to describe it that's got to go on t-shirts, that's got to be go on GoDaddy websites and shit like that. I'm sick and tired of this shit because all it's doing is monetizing pain. And I say that to say this. Now that this whole George Floyd situation has occurred, everybody white that you see on the news, they would say, oh, it's time to listen. Let me educate you ignorant fucks on something. There's a difference between hearing and listening. Case in point. It's hot than a motherfucker outside right now. Hotter than a fucking porch in the projects, right? Hotter than a hooker on Shriners Weekend. It's that hot outside, right? So you probably got your fans or your air conditioners in, right? So when you turn it on, you can hear the engine going, but you don't know what the fucking engine is saying. Because you can't actively listen to it. See, listening is active. Just having your fucking ears open, going to the doctor and getting them wax out of your ear is not actively hearing. You actually have to actively hear somebody in order to be listening to them. And if you were actually listening to black and brown people in this country and minorities, we wouldn't be constantly having this conversation over and over again. You're not actively doing shit. And you say, man, no, it's time to do it now. No, I'll believe that when I fucking see it. I'll believe that it's happening when I see it. Case in point, this cocksucking bitch Drew Brees in New Orleans. This motherfucker ain't listening to none of his teammates. He ain't listening to nobody. Everybody's all crawling up his ass right now because he said what he said at the wrong time, but he meant it. He meant it. In case in point of him hearing and not actively listening is the fact that he would bring up the fucking flag when you're talking about black and brown people getting killed unarmed. See, that's what bitch ass niggas do. You bring up X, they bring up Y. You see what I'm saying? I bring up police brutality, you bring up black on black crime. I bring up Colin Kaepernick kneeling in protest of police brutality, you bring up the flag. When anybody who knows the story behind Colin Kaepernick knows that his nappy head ass wasn't always kneeling for the flag. He wasn't always kneeling in protest. In protest of the flag, he started off by sitting down. And then somebody from a veteran from the service that used to play in the NFL, that was associated with the NFL, approached him and was like, man, you've been a little disrespectful. Why don't you kneel? And I'll kneel with you. White people don't want to talk about that shit, though. They want to talk the flag. You say, man, but people got killed. The flag. It's like, dude, who the fuck are you? The little dude from Fantasy Island, the plane. That's exactly how they are. You should took the flag. Like, fuck you and your flag. Because you refuse to even discuss what is really hurting the whole purpose of the protest. So you'd rather people loot and tear up your shit on the streets than actually kneel in protest of the shit that's happening. Now you want people to sit there and continue to get their foot put up there and don't say nothing about it. That's what the fuck you want. See, that's what I'm here for. I'm here to tell you what people really want versus what they say. It's gotten me in trouble several times before. That's the reason why I usually don't talk about it. That's what got me in the court-mandated fucking anger management. I tried to get out of this shit several times, but for some reason that judge would not let me do it. The motherfucker made me pay for the anger management at that. That's the shit that made me mad. I tried to get out of it every which way. I went back to court. He was like, look, man, next time you come in this motherfucker, if you ain't seen the shrink yet, you're not leaving out of the same door that you came in on. And that's when I was like, fine. You ask me nice like that? No problem. You know what I'm saying? But I'm here to tell you what the fuck people are really telling you with their actions. They don't want to hear what the fuck you got to say when they bring up the flag and shit like that. When they bring up black on black crime, anything that is not relatable to what you said. And that means they're not only, that doesn't mean they're not hearing you. That means they're not listening because they don't want to. Because they're not going to actively listen. And that's what the fuck Drew Brees is. Drew Brees don't give a fuck. Y'all love his ass because it happened right now. Drew Brees said the same thing 4 years ago, 2 years ago, and yesterday. And he would say the same thing tomorrow in front of Trump and next week. He's just not going to say it right now because y'all got up his ass. He meant it. Let him say it. He just told you exactly who the fuck he was. Ryan Clark from ESPN has been saying for years that Drew Brees was a bitch. Nobody believed him because everybody are fucking idol worshipers. If he can throw a football correctly, he can shit in the middle of the floor and you're going to defend it. That's how the fuck people are. It's ridiculous. That's the reason why I was so upset when you assholes out there started looting. I don't give a fuck about this neighborhood, our community. This ain't our community. I could be a fucking millionaire, billion. You have no idea how much money I got. You have no idea what property I could have. Guess what? I could pay off all the properties and assets that I have and have a zero balance. And guess what the fucking government could come do? The county could come in and levy a fucking tax so heavy that I'm crawling out the window if I can't get the door open, trying to sell that motherfucker. This ain't my community. We don't own shit. And little do you know, you don't own shit either. Little do white people know they don't own shit either. Because to quote Denzel, I ain't never seen no motherfucking U-Haul following the hearse. I ain't never seen no Brinks truck following the hearse. You can't take the shit with you. I remember my uncle died back in 98. My brother was talking about, man, I'm going to put a Bulls post in there. Well, I'm saying, no, the fuck you not. Because before we get in the parking lot inside that limo to leave, them motherfucking pallbearers is going to snatch that shit and they're going to have a free Bulls poster. How the fuck do you think they be out there like, man, you can have this, somebody died, you go to the funeral parlor, they be like, it's this used casket. How the fuck do you have a used casket? We dropped this motherfucker in the ground. So my point is, you don't own nothing. So I could care less about that with the looting. All that dumbass people talking about the insurance company's gonna cover. Guess what? I have insurance licenses. The insurance company does not cover all that shit. I don't have property and casualty, but the insurance companies don't cover acts of God. Sometimes they don't cover vandalism unless you actively put that shit in your policy, and nobody is forecasting vandalism and shit that just happened this past week. So therefore, most insurance agents ain't gonna put that shit in there. And you being a non-insurance professional ain't smart enough to ask them to put the shit in there. So a lot of these motherfuckers who got their shit tore up is coming out of their pocket. Unless they absolutely own the building, in which case they may be able to, the building that they're in, they may get some coverage. But if it's just standard business insurance, they might be up shit's creek without a plunger. You don't own shit. The problem I have with the whole looting situation is the fact that you're talking about X, and by looting, you're giving them the Y. to talk about. You're giving them something to talk about that's not related to what the fuck we should be talking about. That's the ignorance behind it, but you just don't get it. And to tell you what black people want to say, black people want justice. Just know the fuck you don't. If you wanted justice, George Zimmerman wouldn't still be breathing. You don't want justice. Them motherfuckers want to steal. If you wanted justice, let me tell you something. They gave him second-degree murder, and guess what? That nigga could get 20, he could get up to, I think, 40 years is the max or some shit like that. They could give him 40 years, and they'd be like, man, that ain't gonna bring back George Floyd. So my point is, what do you want? But see, white people are too fucking narcissists and self-absorbed to ask people what they want. Because let me tell you something, the minute you ask them what they want, you're gonna see a steep-ass pause. Because they really want some of these motherfuckers dead that's killing them. Because that's what justice would be. Go back and look at The Godfather Part 1, first scene, Bonserra talking to Vito. He asked dude to have that guy clipped for fucking with his daughter. Vito said, I can't do that. He said, I want justice. That's not justice. Your daughter's still alive, is what he said. Which, if you listen and learn right there, if you actively listen, you'll know right then that he said, your daughter's still alive. He said, then I want him to suffer. Okay, fine. Vito went and made them, that motherfucker suffer. So my point is, they're killing all these unarmed people. What the fuck do you want? You really want these other motherfuckers to be dead. You just ain't got the balls to do it or to say it out loud because Americans want to act like we so fucking civilized when if we were that goddamn civilized, we wouldn't be having these conversations over and over and over again. Like it's fucking Groundhog Day. I feel like Punxsutawney Phil and shit. That's what the fuck black people are telling you. And then everybody want to drag Vic Fangio into the shit, which is pointless because Vic Fangio didn't mean no harm. Vic Fangio is just a moron. He's just somebody, he just showed me why he was never a head coach before last year. Because a head coach is a CEO of the team. The CEO is a there's politics involved when you're the leader. Vic Fangio is a soldier. He's a coordinator. He's used to watching film saying, this dude is weak, this nigga right here is cold, that dude is a beast. That's what he's used to doing. And he's used to doing it based off of a meritocracy. Like he said, like, man, I'm not playing this white dude and I'm playing that black dude because dude stinks like baby shit and dude is cold. That's what he's used to doing. So he don't see stuff. And that's the reason why motherfuckers wouldn't hire him as a head coach. Think about it. He was in the league for 40 years, never got a head coaching job. Dick LeBeau fucked up the Cincinnati Bengals in that time. You got people like Dick Geron getting head coaching jobs. You got all types of black people getting head coaching jobs and shit. And this motherfucker is one of the greatest coordinators, one of the best coordinators in the last 40 years, defensive minds. This motherfucker can get a job. That's why. But I also give him credit because I believe, like when he apologized immediately, I believe that he's a guy that you could sit down and if you get a hold of him for 15, 20 minutes, he'll see and admit where the fuck he was wrong at. You tell him like, man, this is why you fucked up saying that. This is why the NFL is racist. This, and this. And he'd be like, you know what? You're right. I did fuck that up. I don't know why I didn't see that. Drew Brees, not so much. He meant what the fuck he said. He just apologized now because he don't want his left tackle or his right tackle to let somebody, one of those defensive players through like they did on Any Given Sunday to Willie Beeman and shit. He don't want them to fuck him up. That's why the fuck he apologized. This motherfucker got like 3 or 4 black offensive linemen out of 5. At least 60 or 80% of his offensive line is black. And he don't want somebody that just all of a sudden gets selective amnesia and shit when Khalil Mack is coming or when Von Miller is coming. He didn't mean his apology. He meant exactly what the fuck he said. But he pisses me the fuck off because I'm trying to figure out when the fuck did you become Matthew Modine from fucking Full Metal Jacket and shit to where you get to tell people how to respect the flag. But actual military people who told him to kneel, oh, they don't mean nothing. They word don't mean nothing. We supposed to listen to you because your name Drew. And I got a shit stain words to Russian ass Mikhail Gorbachev birthmark on my face. That means you're supposed to listen to me. Fuck the people who actually fought for the country. Other motherfuckers fought for the country. And say, man, I don't like that Colin Kaepernick kneels during the national anthem, but he got the right to do it because that's why the fuck I fought. But you got this asshole over here saying something, and it's supposed to be different. There you have it. Another episode of Diary of a Mad Sports Fan. I didn't mean to go this long, but fuck it, because I could have went another 15 minutes, 16 minutes or so. But if you liked it, comment. If you didn't, go fuck your mother. Peace and hair grease.